Well, this morning we're joined by Vicky, Zugah, and Alexandra as well. They're single moms, and we want to have a discussion and a chat with them as well about motherhood. Ladies, you are so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes. How you doing?
Very well. How are you?
Yeah, we're good to. Oh, Vicky, sorry, your nose mask.
I can manage.
You know what? What we should do is
also
that
just
I
got
think
ruined.
since the three of us have it on, I think you should be safe. So you can even
So I should take it
Yeah,
off?
you can take it off and feel comfortable. Yeah, we'll try and get you a quick one, a new one as well.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
It's nose mask season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, from a boy's point of view, I have one question to ask. What is it, or how does it feel like? Let me start off with you, Vicky, and you also share the same experience with me. How does it feel like carrying a child for 9 months?
Personally, it feels good.
It feels good.
For me.
Okay.
It feels good to know that a human being is developing inside of you. You know, it's an amazing feeling.
So that you would recommend any day to any woman out there, wouldn't
Of
you?
course.
Wow.
I haven't met any woman who doesn't want to have
Have a
a
child.
child or carry a child. I'm yet to meet one.
Are you? She's also having the same snap problem with the nose
My
mask.
nose mask is giving me challenges. I'd love to have this conversation, but Jay, you wanna?
Okay,
Yeah.
what about you, Alexandra? How do you feel?
I mean, it's an honor. I think motherhood is a very unique
Okay.
calling, and anybody that gets the opportunity to carry a child is very blessed.
That is the understanding. Let me also get this from you. Now, the time you found out that you were pregnant, how did you feel again?
I was
Scared?
Initially, I was excited. I
Okay.
was very excited until it hit me. I'm like, oh my god,
Wow.
like, are you really ready for this?
Yeah.
So I had that moment.
When you say ready for this, now that's what I want to ask. Ready for? What was running through your mind?
I mean, children are a huge responsibility. Emotional, financial, spiritual, social,
Physical.
physical. You know, it's not for the faint-hearted. So
Yeah.
I hear the boys are trouble.
Actually, I think the boys I've met so far are actually quite easier to
handle.
The girls are right now, like, I think the women empowerment is
Starting from the basic.
exactly. But the guys are fairly, you know, very, very manageable.
How about you, Vicky? When you found out you were pregnant, scared, worried, excited?
My first child, I was worried because I was quite young.
Okay.
But the second one, I had prayed for over 10 years.
Wow.
So I was absolutely excited.
Wow.
Yes.
You couldn't have a child within 10 years?
Yes.
Wow.
After my first child.
So I'm very sure when you found out you were pregnant, the excitement was over the roof.
I danced. I sang. I called everyone to tell them. Finally, I was pregnant.
Well, let me ask this personal question. I hear that childbirth really takes a lot from you, physically, emotionally, your skin, your body, your mind. Is this true?
I think pregnancy for everyone is very unique and very specific. I had a very easy pregnancy from start to finish. I didn't have morning sickness. I didn't spit.
Wow.
I was running, like, I did everything normally. I think the day before I delivered, I was even driving in town. And I had
You were?
I
Which
was,
part of Accra were you in?
I was in East Legon, and I had to go pick up mangoes for my mother.
Okay.
I went to my godfather's house, and his help came out, and she was like, hey, when you saw me anytime, no one in our hiding. And I'm like, I didn't feel anything. So I got some kinky, got some kebab, got some ice cream from Pinocchio. I had a ball. My
Look
mom
at
and I
that.
had like soap, telling Abeles would watch. I killed all of them, and then my contractions started at 12, but it was very manageable. So by the time like I got to the hospital, and I was very fortunate to do this with my entire family, my mom and my dad. By the time I got to the hospital, I mean, I had done like, I had dilated like 5 centimeters. So it was like, I got there at 3, and then by 7, my baby was here. It was a very breezy experience.
Oh, wow.
Would your story be different? No morning sickness, no.
No.
Oh wow. Who's been
morning
telling me
sickness,
stories
nothing.
about
With
pregnancies
my
then?
first child, actually, I was still in School of Cosmetology.
Okay.
And I did first 6 months in school. It was during the 7th month that I started feeling lazy and all of that. And yes, I drove myself to the hospital because for my second child, the due date was 1 week extra.
Okay.
So I drove, a day before I had him, I drove personally to the hospital, had him, and then drove back home.
What's that one significant thing you'd say has changed in you? if I knew you, I mean, surely I knew you when you did Malaika, and so what's that one thing I know that you can tell me that's changed so much significantly on you after childbirth?
A sharp sense of responsibility.
Okay.
You know, like you don't take anything for granted. You always, you know that you're responsible for somebody's depending on you to survive. So you have a very strong sense of responsibility to always make sure that you're making the right choices to secure his future. You know, so I think before, you know, you take a lot of things for granted. I had Papa when I was 25, so I had just, oh.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Wow. No smart season, isn't it?
I had Papa when I was 25, and I had just finished my national service, so I was still figuring out a lot of things when he came. So when he came, I was like, you know what, you need to set up. Life is not something to play with. Somebody depends on you, so you need to make really smart choices and make sure that you give him the best. So
I'll
that's
stay
the
on you.
thing.
Were you prepared? Were you ready for childbirth?
Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, yeah,
You were.
I was ready.
Okay.
Vicky, I just want to hear the same from you as well. What snapped or what changed, like Emefa is asking?
First, I always use the first and second because it was a whole different
Okay.
experience with both of them. Okay, with the first one, I wasn't. It was unexpected. So everything was on my mom and my grandmom. But with the second one, I'm taking full responsibility because the father is not in his life. And sometimes I feel I'm not doing the right thing because, yes, I break down sometimes because I ask myself so many questions. I'm raising someone's father.
Oh, on the screen now we
And-
have you. That's him, right?
Yes.
That's a beautiful boy.
First boy,
Thank you.
second child.
Second boy,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh wow, he's a handsome one.
Yeah.
He's gonna grow up and start chasing other.
If
other
he hasn't. Oh, it smells like you.
Wow. Oh, these are really nice photos you have here.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
It's-
that's the bigger one that will come later on the show.
Yes. So, I mean, look, for a mother, it's everything to give up to take care of your child. How has that been post delivery of your child? You know, in those first early years of the upbringing.
Okay. With the second, it was hard. It was difficult because my mom had fallen ill.
Okay.
And I've lived with my mom my whole life. So when she got sick, I didn't want her to go anywhere. She's still bedridden anyways. So everything was on me. I lost my grandmom. And these are the two people who were there for me during my first. So everything fell on me. And it was hard. I had to go back to my friends that had children, more than one, to take a couple of advice from them. Sometimes a simple ailment, the child would be coughing or some minor fever, and then I wouldn't know what to do. I'll be fidgeting, and then I'd have to call a doctor or someone. It was pretty hard because I hadn't done it all by myself before. Okay, so it was hard.
You know, what's that one thing that you remember, your mother, that kind of relationship that you had with your mother, and then now that you have a child, you can see you doing it?
Wow, my mom is a legend. I don't even think
That was a legend.
I
Yeah.
don't even think I can. Her energy
Right.
for the family is just unbelievable. And I don't even know if I can match that yet, even though I'm younger. My mother would do anything. She'd be on her feet from morning till evening to make sure that the family is like well taken care of. And I'm just praying and hoping that I can be that, you know, as I'm growing older. Because even now I can't keep up. I can't keep up. But I hope that's definitely one thing that I'm hoping to learn from my mom. Just being able to.
Well, we have pictures of your son,
Yeah.
Oh.
handsome Papa you mentioned.
Yes.
Oh, on the screen. Wow.
This is when we're going to school. We're going for a wedding.
Look at him turn the shades upside down.
Your perfect boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
So, like I was asking Vicky as well, I want to find out from you what changed in your life after delivery. You know, after your pregnancy, what became different aside from the fact that you became extra responsible, like you mentioned.
I think I became more maternal.
Okay.
You know, I mean, like now I'm very concerned about people eating. Are you okay? I ask everybody I meet like 10,000 times in a day, are you okay? Do you need anything? And before, I used to take that for granted. But because I have a child now, I have a sense of, okay, if this person was my child, how would I relate to that person? So that awareness just kind of came from this experience of going through the pregnancy, having him, and just like growing up with him. Like, I need to know if everybody around me is doing okay.
Yeah, I know for sure that every single mother out there has had this very scary moment with the child, either extreme sickness or something at midnight. And do you have any of those experiences?
Yes.
Tell me.
And this was on my last birthday.
Okay.
Okay, we were having a house party.
Okay.
And then my house help rushed to me just about the time I was about to cut my cake.
Are you kidding me?
That Andrew was shivering. Andre had the temperature had gone up and everything. And when I went in the room, he was sweating and the temperature was so high. And even if he drank water, he would throw up and everything. So I had to leave the cake and everything, the guests, and rush to the hospital with him. That was my scariest moment.
Children are just so unassuming, really.
Those temperatures. That temperature spike, G.
What about you? What happened?
I think a similar thing. And for me, I think I had that experience over and over and over again that I panicked, but I'm able to control it. But what I would say was when I gave birth to him, he had neonatal jaundice. So I gave birth on Tuesday. I was discharged Thursday morning. And I had to come, Wednesday evening or Wednesday afternoon. So I was there for a full 24 hours. And then I was supposed to come back on Thursday for a BCG shot. So that's what builds their immunity. So I get to the hospital and they give him the shots and they look into his eyes. And in your maternal book, when you're going when you go for antenatal, they would tell you some of the warning signs. If you see that your child has yellowing in their eye, immediately go to the hospitals. And funny enough, I never really opened that book. But I flipped the page and saw that just before I delivered. So I knew that something isn't right here. So I took him back to the hospital, but the nurses at Trustwave, they really handled it very, very professionally.
Yeah.
So they made me skip the line, see the pediatrician, and they were like, I needed to go and take some blood tests. But he was so small, he was 2.5 kg. So to find the vein was like an issue.
Yeah.
And so I'm a newborn. First of all, I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed. Now they have to find this vein, they can't find it. They have to puncture like the sole of his.
Yeah.
So that was very emotional for me.
Wow.
Now we're finding out what's the blood group, what do we need to do? That was a nightmare for me.
Oh, Vicky, tell me, what did you ever do to your mom that you wish your child wouldn't do to you now? You tell me. Or is
On
the
the spot,
tallest?
I don't remember because I love my mom so much.
Okay.
On the spot, no, I don't think I have done anything.
You never gave her problems. She didn't have to beat you to go to school.
Well, maybe she should be the judge of that. But for me, I don't think I have.
Okay. Okay. You?
It blames you. I think when you, growing up, I took a lot of things for granted. And I think that I don't want my child to. And as much as being a parent is a responsibility to the child, it's also one of those things that you don't take for granted. You don't see that as my mom's duty to cook for me. We understand that that's my duty to cook, but you don't take that for granted, even though it's their responsibility. And I think growing up, I took all those too. If my mom says, oh, I should come and help her in the kitchen, I would drag my feet, I would nag. We all do. Go and drive me here, I'm nagging about it. I don't want Papa to ever do that.
Having a child as a woman also sometimes can change your plans entirely.
Yeah.
I'm very sure you've had such experiences as well. What did they do to you? What did you put on hold? Did you make any new decisions on what you wanted to be?
Yeah, I put a career on hold. I had hoped to go into journalism.
Okay.
I had just secured a job at TV3 right about the time I had found out. And Shelley had also casted me in Champagne, the new series, I think the first season. When I had just found out I was pregnant, and for me it was a no-brainer. I put my life on hold for 2 years because I really wanted to be present, to understand what it takes to have a child and really get into the swing of things before I moved on with my life. Because when you have your parents around, our parents indulge us. They always want to make sure that even if we're going through a hard time, they make it easier. And my parents were no different. My mom and dad have been supportive from day one. And I wanted to experience, this was my experience, and I wanted to feel every bit of what that experience came. the lessons, the pain, whatever it came with. I wanted to experience it. So I put a lot of opportunities on hold for 2 years so that I could really immerse myself in the motherhood experience. And I think it was a good decision, not to work, just focus on him for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Vicky, I don't know your personal life, whether you have any other thing you do aside acting, but I'm wondering how that also that impacted, as an actress, impacted your, your decisions.
Yes, I'm a cosmetologist.
Okay.
As well. And I wanted to go back to school and major, have a diploma in cosmetology. But after my son, a lot of things changed. Because I didn't want anyone to raise my son for me. I didn't raise my daughter. My daughter was 3 years when she was taken away from me. So
Wow.
I want to fully be responsible for my son. So I had to put that on hold, and my career as well. And naturally, there's a Ghana movie industry. Once you have a child, they think you don't have time anymore to work. So apart from me putting it on hold, the producers put me on hold as well. They never casted me for some time.
Yeah.
But it's picking up now.
I can imagine. These are the sacrifices, the reason why we celebrate mothers, on a day like this.
I want to get a little personal with you, Vicky. I know that you've been through some challenges, personal challenges. I don't know if it's your relationship or, divorce, not too sure of that. But how did you shield your children away from your personal challenges?
I tell my children the truth, especially my daughter, because she's 17 and
wow,
she
full
knows
grown
a
woman.
lot.
I like that. She knows. She
knows
knows a lot.
So I tell her the truth. But my son is only 3, so
Okay.
but I will eventually tell him the truth, exactly what happened, the reason their fathers are not really in their lives. I'll tell them. I won't hide anything from my children.
That's emotional.
Yeah,
Tell me
very
some
emotional. You pushed.
memorable ones with your mother. Memorable events with your mother.
My delivery.
Okay, oh, she was there.
She was there. She and my dad drove me to the hospital. There's a joke that my twin sister says all the time that my son was supposed to be born. Well, I had slight contractions on Monday, so Friday, so we rushed to the hospital and he didn't come. So my sister always joked that he was waiting for my dad to come from a business trip so that he would be born. So my mom, she got up, called the doctor, and she was like, oh, I had just had diarrhea, whatever. And she was like, go take a bath and let's go to the hospital. So my mom and dad took me to the hospital. And till today, that's one of my most profound memories. But that was a very intimate moment.
Well, if I weren't on this set, I'll be fighting from the back of the camera and asking for this question to be asked. And I'm asking because I do not want us to position men as irresponsible. We also have responsible men. Now, but in your lives, you've had to take care of your children all by yourselves, not necessarily with your parents supporting. I'm talking about the non-presence of the fathers. But how does that make you feel as well? Do you yearn for a father in the lives of your children?
I'm human. Sometimes I do. I have times that I wish my son's dad was in his life because there's a lot I'm sure he knows that I don't know because it's a boy. Andre is a boy.
Yeah.
And maybe if the father raises him, he would be a better man in the future.
Oh, trust me. They say a boy's best friend is a mother. He's stuck to you like glue.
But Jake, society has pampered our men so much that anything that the man does to the woman is blamed for what the man does.
The debate begins.
Elaborate.
The debate has begun.
Examination question 1. Define and explain.
If a woman is raped, the woman is blamed.
Yeah. Why did you wear shorts?
Teenage
yet?
pregnant.
Oh, but we will jail the man. That one, they trust me, myself, I will look for the man to jail him.
We always blame the girls for teenage pregnancy. Okay, we always blame why did you wear that? Why did you go there? Why didn't you go, So everything is the woman. In this society, in the African society, whatever goes wrong, whatever wrong the man does to the woman is blamed for it. So it's okay for a woman to be a single mother and there's nothing wrong with it in the society.
Yeah.
But of course, we also have men who are single-handedly taking care of their children.
Yeah, they are also
right?
mothers.
Yes,
We'll
but
celebrate them today.
the way people think, oh, that's something, wow. this man is taking care of his children alone. But if it were the woman the other way around, people will say, oh, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal. You know, that's the kind of society we live in.
Do you feel same in the absence of a father in the life of your child?
I think it definitely creates a vacuum. You know, like I also have a son, and I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to be a boy who's trying to become a man. Our issues and your issues are definitely not the same. But I have been fortunate enough to have a son who's growing up with a father figure, his grandpa, and his father is not totally out of his life.
Okay.
You know, it's a situation that is still very delicate and still being like we're still trying to manage it.
Yeah.
What I always would say is, I think God's grace, as cliche as it sounds, is the thing that is the most important thing. You can do your best, but you also have to accept the fact that you can't be everything. And so when there's help at any given point in time, you need to embrace it. And I know that men, I agree with her to a very large extent that indeed men have been really, really pampered. And the kind of responsibilities that women take on.
Please, there's a man here.
Go on, I'm with you, my darling.
There are great
The
men
men
out
will
there,
roast
and I'm
me.
all for
The men
them.
will roast me if I don't
defend
I don't defend them. Jay, you allowed this to happen. No, man. We got this. Yeah, I got this, man. I got this. I promise. I
We're
got this.
three, you don't want to try this.
Yeah, that's why I don't have this.
Share with me some of your disciplinary measures. I hear that boys are when they about 2, 3, they cause a lot of mayhem at home. Like
No, if I disagree.
Yeah, you can
Children,
disagree. Let the mothers
2,
come.
3, 4.
Your
I've
mother had to threaten you with your love to learn to learn your own times table. Can you imagine? So tell me, share with me some of your disciplinary measures.
Okay, for Andre, he likes PJ Masks a lot.
Okay.
So anytime he does something wrong, I tell him I'm going to put up the TV.
Your head is hard. The entire TV. You're turning off the entire TV.
Because he knows how to change the channels.
Thank you.
So I off the TV from the switch and everything is off. Till he says sorry to mommy.
Oh.
Sometimes when I tell him, Andre, say sorry.
TV
Andre,
off.
say sorry.
Oh, so I'm not the only one.
So they can actually express their feelings. They know when they feel like saying sorry. And when they
Yeah,
don't.
but I think our generation, I don't know, because Andrew seems like he's very like compliant. My son too is the same. If he does something, he throws a tantrum, but he'll come back and say he's sorry, or he'll come back, okay, so the thing that he does is, Mommy, I love you, okay? You are cute. Come on, let me kiss you.
Oh.
He's won your heart. Hey, if your son is showing these signs at this early age, dear,
I'm so proud of him.
then you just unleashed another
He's
beast.
gradually growing up to become
You've
like
unleashed a beast into the world. Oh.
I'm so proud of him.
But that's so cute. What are some of the things, real quickly, what are some of the things that they do that makes you always say my son or my daughter is unique? You know,
Oh, yeah.
like they probably said something earlier than you expected. They called you mommy way earlier than you expected. They, like you said, change channels and you're like, wow, this boy can do this.
And also to add, are you able to tell what you think they're likely to like or be in future?
Yeah.
Can you tell at this age? Maybe they like to read rather. Jay, I know, hates maths. So which one they hate, which one they don't like?
My son likes height. He's not scared of heights. Me,
Interesting.
The brave one.
anytime I fly, I have running stomach. But Andre can be anywhere, any height, and he'll still be smiling.
Oh, that's a man.
Wow.
Difference between a man and a woman.
You know?
Magical. What about you?
Papa definitely likes to study. That's his thing. Like he would read a book anytime, any day. He's into like trying to figure things out. If you get him a toy car or something like that, he would take out the tires and try and piece it back together. So I'm
Get
hoping
an
that
engineer.
there's some engineer, construction, you know. But I'm kind of
Like
ganging
him
for a
there.
pilot. But whatever he likes.
There's this cartoon series that I know a lot of kids love, Peppa Pig. I don't know.
His favorites.
They are
His
crazy about
favorites.
it.
His favorite. His absolute favorites. George and Pepe.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Andres is PJ Masks.
PJ Masks.
Yes.
Oh my days.
And he's obsessed with Spider-Man and Venom. And I
Okay.
like Venom, but I understand Venom's story. But I'm like, you're a child,
How do
3
you
years.
understand it?
Like, Venom is not your typical superhero. He's like an anti-hero. We don't know whether he's good or he's bad.
Yes.
And he's obsessed.
With Venom.
Oh.
I mean, I like comics too, so like we are on the same level with that kind of excitement. But of all the things, the heroes you can love, Venom, that scares me.
That's Papa in the picture.
Wow.
With the mother.
Wow.
Share with me your Mother's Day, who you want to wish your Mother's Day, what it means to you. I mean, some years ago, I switched on my television and Alex was answering questions at Miss Malak. I thought, damn, this girl is intelligent. Now, 1 minute she's crossed her legs and she's talking about her son. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you paid attention, I've always been very concerned with women, because even my speech, I dedicated it to mothers. So it's interesting that 10 years later, 9 years later, I'm sitting here discussing the very same thing that I talked about.
Yeah.
But what I want to wish my mother, Evelyn Ayirebi, Acquah, a very special Mother's Day. She's been an absolute mentor, an inspiration. Her kindness, her energy, her selflessness for her family, her faith and perseverance for her family has been one of the most inspiring things for me. And even though we fight and we get on each other's nerves, I know that I don't want to be anything but like my mom. And my auntie, her baby sister, she's been so much like a mom also. She's been a constant source of strength, support, encouragement, Auntie Tina. And I want to wish her and my mom especially a very happy Mother's Day. There are so many mothers in my son's life. If I mention it, we'll run out of time. But all of you know yourselves.
Vicky, this is the picture. This is the picture I have of you. That you cannot touch Vicky and go scot-free. You would dare not. You dare not say something bad about Vicky and she would not discipline you. So I see you as a mother who's highly disciplined, a disciplinarian who would go any length to want to raise your child. Maybe somebody instilled that in you. You want to take the opportunity to say thank you to them and encourage mothers out there. I've been following and I see that the cosmetology business is really doing well. I'm coming for some check later on.
Okay.
So encourage some mother out there.
First of all, I want to say thank you to my mother, Beatrice Patu, for everything she went through for her children, for all of us, and to wish her a speedy recovery. Yeah. Okay, so my message to mothers, do what you can when you can. Don't use the child's father's sins to punish the child.
Okay.
If the father's son decides not to be in the life of the child, it's not the child's fault. Don't punish your child because of what their father is doing or is not doing for you. So hold on to it, because there's a reward for all of us.
Right.
You know, sometimes you think you're failing or you're not doing something right, but know that you are a queen and you decided to be in the child's life because you have some kind of love. You could have left just like the father left, but you decided to stay and you are a hero for that.
I like that. On the back of that, CB Women's capsules. Emefa will be laughing at this one, right?
Go on.
Perfect for vaginal itching, discharge, pains during sex, burning sensations during urination, and many more, even menstrual pains. I just had to touch on CB Women's capsule. So, like they say, Susie, I beg your pardon, Susie Herbal Center, Ghana Mane Marima Damwase. My tree is coming. Yes. So, you know what we'll do? Courtesy, Williman, I'm going to give you some hampers, but I'll give it to you and take it back because I want it. I'm just kidding.
Did you just say that's fine? See?
Because I've been sitting down here and spying the things in there, and you see, for a dad as well, some of the things in here would actually play a very important,
I can imagine.
important role in our lives. So it'll be very ideal that, when I give it to you, then I just meet you at the back of the camera and then go like, you understand, this is for the
Before
camera.
that, I'd like to say a big thank you to Williman Investments. You can find in a basket here Compal fruit juice, Pura Vida milk, First Choice milky flavored chocolate, Sultan tea, Pepsi, and all of these things you can find in all of the malls in Ghana here, supermarket, your corner store, wherever. When you go, point at Compal juice or Pura Vida that you want that one. They've helped us to package a very big basket for our mothers. Now, how can I give birth and still look very slim like you?
The advice I have for everybody out there is when you're hands-on, breastfeeding is like the quickest way to shrink the tummy. So that's my tip. Second tip, if you're the one who's doing everything, your parents have a tendency to spoil you. Stop them from doing it.
Okay.
Wash the baby's clothes yourself. Iron the baby's clothes yourself. everything that the baby needs, do it yourself. And by the time you're done, you snap back like this. So that's my secret.
I need to desperately get my skin back like yours. I've seen mothers who are struggling with skin and all of that. I desperately need to get my skin back if I have. You have to assure me that I will before I have a child.
It's not that scary.
Just get your skin tested and know what's good for your skin.
Okay, thank you.
So on behalf of, I want to carry this heavy load and put on you because it's Mother's Day. So let the fathers carry the load. Yeah, go. So on behalf of Willerman, we'll present this to you as well. So one goes to each of you.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you for having us.
I hope you get a shot. Like I'm not giving it to you. Like, right? All right. So thank you so much. A quick break. When we come back, we have more surprises on the show for you. So don't even blink.